Welcome to a new video series of Algebra 1 and 2. In this series, I'll try to cover most of the topics that you can find in an algebra book. The content may look like Algebra 2 subject rather than Algebra 1. And we will start with the order of operations as the first section of the first chapter. In order of operations, we have a famous acronym called PEMDAS. I believe that most of you know already this, if you are familiar with the subject. PEMDAS shows the order of mathematical operations. P stands for parentheses, E means exponents, M means multiplication, D means division, A means addition, and S means subtraction. You can memorize this PEMDAS as an acronym like, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. The first letters of each word in this sentence reminds you an operation. E as a parentheses, E as an excuse, and etc. If you memorize this sentence, then it's going to help you a lot to remember the order in operations in mathematics. I put an arrow at the top of MD words in a calculation if there is multiplication and division together. The order goes from left to the right. The same thing is applied for addition and subtraction. As you can see, there is another arrow at the bottom of A and S. For addition and subtraction, whichever one is on the left again comes first. The order of operation goes from left to the right. When it comes to make any calculation by using addition and subtraction, this arrow indicates order goes from left to the right between multiplication and division, and at the same time between addition and subtraction. Again, we need to follow the direction from left to the right. The first example, let's say we have 8 minus 9 divided by 3 plus 4. So what is the result of this calculation? As you can see, we have here subtraction. Okay, I'm gonna just write the first letters of each operation. Here we have division. Here we have addition. Look at PEMDAS. Division comes first comparing to subtraction and addition. So I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna do this first. So once you do that, you're gonna have 8 minus, if you divide 9 by 3, you're gonna have 3 plus 4. Okay, so here we have subtraction and here we have addition. Of course, I mean, in this case, it's not gonna make any difference, but I recommend you to memorize it. So try to be familiar with the orders and try to make it a habit. So always go from left to right. That means you need to do this first, okay? So because subtraction is on the left, so if you subtract 3 from 8, you're gonna have 5. 5 plus 4, which is gonna be 9. So the result is 9. The second example, we have 4 divided by, in the parentheses, 21 minus 19, and parentheses is closed, times 4 is what? As you can see, if you look at the operations, we have here division. Again, I'm going to write the first letters of each operation. Here we have subtraction, and here we have multiplication. There is a parentheses here, okay? So we need to do this parentheses first. We need to do this parentheses first, and then once you do it, as you can see, we're gonna do the subtraction. So subtraction comes before division actually. Why? Because it is inside a parenthesis. That's the reason. So I'm gonna do the parentheses first and then write the rest of the calculations. So it's gonna be 4 divided by, we subtract 19 from 21, we're gonna have 2 times 4. Here we have division and here we have multiplication. Because division is on the left, so we need to divide 4 by 2 first. And once you do this, okay, let me circle it. If you do this, you're gonna have 2, so 2 times 4 is 8. So the result is 8. And let's continue with the next example. This example, we have a little bit more challenging question. Again, we have here parentheses, so we're gonna do this parentheses first, and then we have here exponents right here. This is parentheses, this is exponent. Here we have subtraction, here we have division, and here we have multiplication. Of course, we need to do the parentheses first. I'll write the rest of the calculations, okay, as they are. So 7 square minus 6 square is what? 36 plus 4, I'm closing the parentheses, divided by 10 times 11 is equal to, again, if you add 4 to 36, you're gonna have 40 here, okay? 40 minus 7 square divided by 10 times 11. And of course, you need to do the exponent. So 7 squared is what? 49. 49 minus 40 divided by 10 times 11. And now let's look at the operations. Here subtraction, here also division, here multiplication. Of course, division and multiplication, they were together, but because division is on the left, so I'm gonna do this, okay, division first. If you divide 40 by 10, let me continue to the right side. If you divide 40 by 10, then you're gonna have 4, so the rest is 49 minus 4 times 11. And now we have here subtraction and multiplication. Of course, we need to multiply 4 by 11 first. So 49, I'm going to write it here, minus, if you multiply 4 by 11, you're going to have 44. And if you subtract 44 from 49, you're going to have 5 as an answer. Let's continue with the next question. This is negative 8 already. This is negative 4. I just opened the parentheses. And here, negative times negative is going to be positive. Positive 1. We will take a look at the multiplying signs right after this. And I'm going to write the rest of the calculations divided by 11 times 10 squared. Okay, here again, we need to do the parentheses. Here, bracket is a kind of parentheses, so we will treat it as a parentheses. It's going to be negative, okay, negative 8, negative 4 is going to be negative 12. Negative 12 plus 1 is going to be negative, divided by 11 times 10 squared. Negative times negative is going to be positive, so it's going to be 11 divided by 11 times 10 squared. Of course, here we have division, here we have multiplication, but here we have exponents, 10 squared. Okay, we need to do 10 squared first, so I'm going to write the rest of it. 11 divided by 11 times 10 squared is 100. And now if you look at the operations, here we have division, here we have multiplication. Because division is on the left, so we need to divide 11 by 11 first, which gives us 1 as an answer, times 100 is gonna give you 100. Here, if you realize, guys, okay, here instead of making division, if you do the multiplication, if you multiply 11 by 100, it's gonna be 1100, and if you divide 11 by 1100, that's gonna give you something different. Okay, these are gone, 1 1, it's gonna be 0.01. So as you can see, that one and this one is very different from each other. So please be careful whichever one is on the left, especially when you have multiplication and division at the same time in a calculation. Okay, whichever one is on the left comes first. The same thing is applied for addition and subtraction. Whichever one is on the left comes first. Okay, these are the questions that I wanted to solve. And also I wanted to remind you a couple of things for multiplications of signs, because that affects the order of operations, affects your calculations. So you need to know the multiplication of signs also. In a multiplication of two numbers, okay, if the signs are same, for example, the first one is positive and the second one is also positive, the result is going to be positive. If the signs are different and the result is going to be negative, I put the rules, okay, the properties on the left. For example, let's make an example for each of these. Negative times negative. For example, -1 times -2. Okay. 1 times 2 is 2. Negative times negative is going to be positive. So the result is a positive number. +1 times +2 is multiply the numbers first. Okay, 1 times 2 is 2. And then consider the sign of the result, because this is positive, this is positive, so the result is going to be positive also. Negative times positive, for example, -1, okay, times +2 is multiply the number first without considering the signs. 1 times 2 is 2, and then because the first one is negative, the second one is positive, the result is going to be negative. Why? Because they have different signs. And positive times negative, for example, 1 times -2 is, without considering the sign, firstly multiply the numbers. 1 times 2 is 2, and then consider the signs. The first one is positive, the second one is negative, because the signs are different, so the result is going to be negative. Let's take a look at a couple questions regarding the multiplication of signs as well. Example, we see that there are two signs together, okay. There is more than one sign, then we need to multiply the signs. So we need to do the parentheses first. Let me write the rest. -8 times 3, because negative times negative is going to be positive, so it's going to be +6. So this is going to be -8 times, if you do the parentheses first, we're going to have 9. Okay, if you calculate 8 by 9, the result is 72. Okay, in such calculations, guys, firstly, without considering the signs, always multiply the numbers and then take care of the signs. Okay, because the first one is negative and the second one is positive. In other words, because the signs are different, the result is negative. So the result is -72. And let's continue with the next question. I just exaggerated putting a lot of signs together. Okay, let's say, suppose that you encounter such a question, and how we're going to solve it. Well, if you look at here, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. We have 4 signs together. We can think of this calculation like in this way: plus times negative. Okay, positive times negative is going to be negative, so this is negative. Negative times negative is going to be positive. Positive times negative is going to be negative, so the result is negative. So let me write the rest as following: -2 times 3 minus, and now from 1, 2, 3, 4 signs, we're going to have negative, so the inside is -7, and this is equal to, again, -2 times negative times negative is going to be positive, so it's going to be 3 plus 7. So this is going to be -2 times 10. It's going to be 20, but because the signs are different, the result is negative. So the result is -20. I hope, guys, you enjoyed the video. If you have any question regarding the topic, please feel free to comment below. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.